Okay, so now we're in the pump shed and we'll go through again the basics of setting up and operating your equipment from in here. Firstly, your water comes into your pump, goes through the Heron lint pot catcher up into the filter. The filter consists of the pod, which these days is filled with a glass filtration media. On top of that is what referred to as an MP, which is a multi-port valve, because it has multiple ports that are available for you to use. This is set at the moment on filter on number 1 because what it is moving and filtering the contents of the pool. When the water comes out of the MPV valve, it comes into the salt cell. Here, as the water goes across the plates, this is your chlorine. So that has chlorine entering the water, going back to your pool and your drink. That is controlled by our connector, which generically the same, but there is a few differences. Primarily on this one here, right hand side, you have a rotary device which selects how much chlorine you want to pour. So we've selected 100% there now. Once the computer does that and starts to process, you'll get a digital readout on here, and that will build up to 100, showing getting 100% out of your controller. So as I say, at this we're on filter. We've done a vacuum, and the pool was a little bit dirty, so what we're going to do now is we're going to backwash. Now what backwash does is exactly as the word describes. It'll run the water backwards through the filter system, and that is going to stir up the dirt and dead algae, etc. that we've caught, and it's going to send it off to waste. So we'll do that by turning the switch to off, and all of these have an on switch, which on bypasses your timer, off as an off, and auto means that it will run through the predetermined times that you put into your clock. So we've turned that off, and your multi-port valve, you never ever shift it while the pump is running. So it's now off, and you fully depress that lever, and backwash is 180 degree rotation, and is always opposite filter. So here it's on number 2 backwash. We'll turn this on again. And the backwash is now coming out this side, and if you can get the camera in here, you'll see we have a sight glass here which will start to run a wee bit cloudy depending on how dirty the water has been, and then when that starts to clear up, we can stop that backwashing process. So I'll just monitor that for a few moments. That's starting to clear up nicely. So again, we'll now turn it off before we move the multi-port valve. After you've backwashed, depress your lever, rotate around to position 3, which is rinse. What the rinse does is just gives a few seconds of clean water through the pipe work which we've just backwashed, so that we don't send that last few moments of dirty water back into the pool. Turn it on again. 5 to 10 seconds is usually adequate for a rinse. 5. We'll turn that off. Again, depress your lever, round to filter, let it up, turn it back on, and we're away again. In the filter position on the multi-port valve, there's always mounted a pressure gauge. In this situation, our pressure is sitting at approximately 100 kPa, which is ideal. And the importance of the pressure gauge is such that if you note the pressure is increasing, you come out one day and the pressure is actually a lot higher than where it would normally run, it's a pretty good indication that you need to backwash your system. You may have been filtering for several weeks you may have vacuumed a couple of times and neglected to backwash, so that's a very good indicator that you need to backwash your system. So really need to emphasise the importance of an operational gauge. Apart from that, we've given you a brief overlay of operating the equipment. If you have any issues with your equipment, feel free to give us a call. We're all here to help you on 0800 432100.